question 11 is an example of like a grid walking problem. So in this question, we have Jack wants to bike from his house to Jill's house, which is located 3 blocks east and 2 blocks north of Jack's house. So after biking each block, Jack can continue either east or north, but he needs to avoid a dangerous intersection 1 block east and 1 block north of his house. So you want to know how many ways can he reach Jill's house by biking a total of 5 blocks. So let's draw like a pretty picture, I guess. So you can kind of draw it like this, right? So that Jack's house is here, and Jill's house is here, and there's like a dangerous intersection point here. So you want to like make sure you don't cross that point because I don't know, it's dangerous. So we want to count how many ways Jack can go. So like one example would be like Jack can go like 2 that way, like 1 up, 1 right, 1 up. That's example of not passing through the dangerous intersection. So the idea for this problem is basically we can kind of like use this kind of like common idea for grid walking problems, which is you want to look at each case like separately. Like how many ways are there for Jack? How many ways are there for Jack to get to this point? Well, there's exactly 1 way. Because like Jack can only move right 1 step. So there's only 1 way. So I'm going to write a 1 there. Now, similarly, there's only 1 way for Jack to get here, right? Like Jack can only move up to get there. Now, to get to this red intersection, like we can kind of just ignore that. Like there's 0 ways to get there because we're not allowed to pass through that point. So there's 0 ways to get to the bad place, to the bad intersection. Now, how many ways are there to get here? To the top left corner? Well, there's exactly 1 way, right? Jack has to move up 2 units. And similarly, how many ways are there for Jack to get here? There's exactly 1 way. Jack has to move 2 units to the right. And how many ways are there for Jack to go like here? That's again 1 way because Jack can only move 3 units to the right. Now we can kind of like continue this logic, right? How many ways are there for Jack to get to this point? Well, in order for Jack to get, let me do it in a different color. This point's a little more special. So it turns out like there's only 1 way to get to this point, right? Because Jack has to like take this route. Like he has to go 2 units to the right. And then from here, we know there's only 1 way. Like there's only 1 way to get from his house to here. So like, that's why this number is 1. Like there's only 1 way. He can only go right, up. And we can kind of continue this logic for this point here. Like there are 2 ways to get here. Jack could like get to this point and then move right, or Jack can come this and move up. So you do 1 plus 1. So you can kind of repeat this logic, and there would be exactly 1 way here. And there would be 2 ways here because you would do 1 plus 1. And to get here, there are 4 ways in total. You would just do 2 plus 2. So that's why the answer would be 4. And just note, like, in case if this like grid walking method was like a little more complicated, this question's easy enough just to list them out, right? Like you could have just directly say if R represents going to the right and U represents going up, then from Jack to Jill's house, you can either go up, then right 3 times. You can go right, up, right. You can go right, up, or you can go right, up. So it's actually maybe easier in this case just to list out the 4 possibilities. So you could also list them out. That's another way to do the problem.